we're glad to be back because we had nothing but rain and no sunshine, and sunshine doesn't make very good pictures. So Grandpa actually has made a new setup with new lights and everything. But today we have sunshine, and I'm glad. And the name of the story is Birthdays Are Lovely. Author unknown. It's a classic story. Polly had never heard of birthdays before. So when one finally came, she didn't really know what people did with them. Polly was a dear little girl, 10 years old, who lived on a large farm with plenty of chickens, cows, and horses. But Polly never thought about how nice all these were, for her father and mother were always hard at work. The two brothers worked for their father. Her sister helped her mother in the kitchen, and Polly washed the dishes, scoured the knives, fed the chickens, and ran errands for the family and for all the summer boarders. Besides, they had a boarding house. One of the boarders, Miss Carey, was watching Polly shell peas one morning and thinking that she did a great deal of work for such a little girl, 8 years old. Finally, she asked, "How old are you, Polly?" "8," Polly answered. "You're almost 9, said her mother. "When is her birthday?" asked Miss Carey. "Why, let me see. It's this month sometime. The 17th of July. I declare, I've forgotten all about it if you hadn't spoken." And Mrs. Jones went on with her work again. "What's a birthday?" Polly asked shyly. "Why, Polly," exclaimed Miss Carey, "don't you know it's the anniversary of the day you were born? Didn't you ever have a birthday present, Polly?" "No," said Polly, looking puzzled. "We never have much time for these things." Polly's mother said, "It's all I can do to remember Christmas." "Yes, I know," Miss Carey said, but she resolved that Polly should have a birthday. When she came down to breakfast the morning of the 17th, Miss Carey said, Miss Carey met Polly in the hall and, putting a little purse into her hand, said kindly, "Here, Polly, is something for you to buy birthday presents with." Polly opened the little bag and found in it 9 bright silver quarters, excuse me. She ran as fast as she could to tell her mother. "Why, child," her mother said, "that's too much money for you to spend. Better save it. It will help buy you a pair of shoes and warm dress next winter." Almost any girl would have cried at this, and Polly's eyes did fill with tears, but as her mother wanted her put the breakfast on, she took the plate of muffins into the dining room. Miss Carey noticed the wet lashes and said, "Miss Jones, please let Polly go down to the stores today and spend her birthday money." Mrs. Jones could not refuse this request, so after she put the baby to sleep, Polly was allowed to go down to the village, which was a good 2 miles away, all by herself. The happy girl would have willingly walked 5 miles to spend the precious money. It was late in the afternoon when she came back. The boarders were lounging about, waiting for the supper bell to ring. They all smiled at the little figure toddling up the road with her arms full of packages, bundles. Polly smiled back radiantly through the dust that covered her round little face as she called to Miss Carey, "Oh, I've got lots of things. Please come into the kitchen and see." "No, it's too warm there," Miss Carey said. "Come into the living room where it's cool and we all can see." So they went into the house, and Polly began to unwrap her packages and exhibit her purchases. You'll be surprised. "There," she said, as she tore the paper from an odd-shaped bundle, "this is for Mother." She held up an egg beater, 'cause it takes so long to beat eggs with a fork. The boarders looked at each other in surprise, but Polly was too busy to notice. She fairly beamed as she held up a green glass necktie pin for inspection. "Isn't it lovely?" she said. "It's for Father." This isn't much, she continued, opening a small bundle. Only a rattle for baby. It cost 5 cents. The boarders looked on in silence as the busy little fingers untied strings. No one knew whether to laugh or to feel sorry. It was wonderful what 9 quarters would buy. And not strange that the little girl had spent a whole half-day shopping. There was a blue tie for Brother Dan and a pink one for Tim, a yellow hair ribbon for Sister Linda, some hairpins for Grandma, and a small bottle of cologne for Jake, the hired man. Then there was but one package left. Polly patted this lovingly as she opened it. This is the nicest of all, and it's for you, she said, as she handed Miss Carey a box of pink writing paper. It seemed too bad that you only had plain white paper to write on when you write so lovely. So I got this. Isn't it pretty? Why, it's beautiful, Polly dear, Miss Carey said. But what have you bought for your birthday present? Why, these, said Polly. These are my presents. Presents are something you give away, aren't they? And Polly looked around, wondering why all were so still. It is more blessed to give than to receive, said one of the boarders softly, and Miss Carey put her arms around Polly and kissed the hot, dusty little face again and again. It's a lovely day, Polly said. I have never had any presents to give away before, and I think birthdays are lovely. The next month, after Miss Carey returned to the city, she had a birthday, and there came to Polly a most wonderful doll with beautiful clothes and a card saying, "For Polly, on my birthday, from Lena Carey," which, by the way, immediately became the doll's name. Miss Carey was not the only one who caught Polly's idea of a birthday. The rest of the boarders remembered, and through the year, as each one's birthday came, Polly received a gift to delight her generous little heart. When the 17th of July came around again, Miss Carey was not on the farm, but she sent Polly a little silk bag with 10 silver quarters in it, and Polly still thinks birthdays are lovely. Reprinted from Time for a Story, compiled and edited by Joe Wheeler. God bless you.